Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today we're going to be doing our needle roll. Lesson number 8, we're going to cover the flowers above the otter, and that's going to be it. We'll have done the front of our needle roll. Don't forget to hit the like button. Click on the subscribe button and the little bell that shows up, and click on that for email notifications. I love hearing from you, so leave me comments in the comment section. Tell me, where are you in your process? Have you just begun? Do you have ideas that have come about as a result of watching these videos on the needle roll? Tell me everything. Let's get started on stitching our needle roll together. All right, we're on the last part of page 10, the red flower. I can either use Sue Spargo's Spoke Easy using the 7 spokes and going to the middle, or if I just have a ruler, I can use that too. The one thing about using Sue's 7 spokes is that because this is 7 petals, this is going to be easier than trying to figure it out with a ruler. So I'm just going to go in here. I can always go back with my ruler and make these darker if I want. And there's my center, so I'm just going to mark that. And then if I want to, I can take my ruler and fine tune it. I've got my Hummingbirds and Hollyhock Silken Pearl on a 24 chenille, and I'm going to go in about 1/4 of an inch from the tip of the flower. And I'm going to go straight down into that chalk line. And then I come out to the side. Then I do my first, I'm doing a closed fly stitch all the way down into the center. So stitch down and then come back up. Down, center. Go down. Center. Then I'm going to come up to the other petal, and I'm going to do this for all 7 petals. All right, so I've finished my closed fly stitch going down each petal into center, and now I'm using my Pagoda Red Silken Pearl, and I'm going to do a chain stitch all the way around. And as I did with the wave, I'm going to go right up to the edge so that that chain stitch is kind of riding up the edge of the applique. I'll keep these stitches quite small to small flower. I also want to be able to go around these tips without changing the length of my chain stitch. I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. But do you see how it's riding up on the side as opposed to laying flat next to it? And I'm intending that. That's what I want it to do. If you don't like that, by all means, do whatever you feel like. Use a different stitch. When I get to the tip, I'm trying to have my chain sort of end right at the tip so that when I go around, it's still kind of rounded looking, but I'm not worrying about a chain doing some odd thing and flattening it out. When I get to this V here in the valley, what I do is I end it. So I'm going to go right into that V. I'm going to anchor the thread down, and then I'm going to start up a new chain right where I ended that last one. And then I'm going right into that V, and that's where I'm going to end. So now the only thing I need to do is I use my shepherd silk. I stitch 8 3-wrap French knots in the center. So there's going to be 1 in the center and then 7 going around it. So I'm going to do my 1 in the center first. There's my first one. I can do 1 right where the closed ply is, because there's 7 spokes, and I know those are pretty well spaced. So there it is, and I'm on to page 11. I'm working on the raspberry flower, which is this one. I'm going to go ahead and use my 7-spoke easy again. Just going to line this up so that it's even, so I get my center. And then I'm just going to do my spokes out. I take my hummingbirds and hollyhocks, and I'm stitching a fly stitch beginning at the tip of each petal. So I'm going to go on either side of that, at the top of the petal, and I'm going to then go right into the center where my chalk line is. Like that, and I'm going to go right into center, come up for my next tip. Going on either side, going to go into the center there. And I'm going to go right into my center here. To either side. Going into center. All right, so my number 8 EZM 31, and do a pistol stitch emanating from center, going out into each valley so that my little knot is right there. I've done my pistol stitches, and now I'm going to do a detached chain inside of the V of each of these fly stitches. So my detached chain, I come up, wrap my thread around my thumb like that, and I'm going to come right up to the edge of that tip. That's where I'm going to anchor that detached chain down. So I'm just going to keep going around with my little detached chain here. I find it helps if I use my thumb to keep this, I want it wide apart so that I can fill that with a French knot. like that. All right, so I'm going to stitch a 2-wrap French knot inside each of these detached chains with my Easy 28. Alright, so if you want to do a 3-wrap, you absolutely can, and I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, so you can see what that looks like. I want it to just be a little more prominent, and I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You don't have to. It's an option. The other one I did 2 wraps, and I like it too. Also, I've been following the directions so diligently, I feel like I need to strike out and do something a little different. Start feeling anxious. Just gives it a little pop at the edge. Okay, I'm going to stitch a colonial knot with my silken chenille right in dead center. Hi, sweet boy. Hi, baby. Oh, hi, baby. You going to come up? Oh, there's a good boy. So I just need to do a colonial knot here, and I can do a 2-wrap colonial knot if I feel like it. So it's just a colonial knot, but instead of wrapping once, you just wrap twice. Another flower, I do that. And there's my little raspberry flower. For this one, I do something a little different. I'm using my circle template, and I'm using the 11/16, which is over here. It's this one. It's 11/16, and I'm putting that over my flower, and then I'm drawing with my chalk pencil around that. I'm trying to center this as much as I can. These chalk pencils do break, by the way. They just do. So don't worry if you feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? It's breaking all the time. It breaks for everybody. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hummingbirds and hollyhocks, silken pearl, and I'm going to do a fly stitch beginning at the chalk center going into center. And I want to make sure that I have one fly right in the center of each of these petals, because I'm going to do a tête de boeuf and it's going to end in the center of that fly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle of one of my petals, and I need to mark center. So let me do that. My center right about there. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. I just want it to be close. So now I'm going to do my first fly right in the middle of this first petal. And I'm going to do my little V, and I'm going to go right into center. And then I'm going to do my next little V, and it's going to be right next to it, and it's going to go from this side of the notch to just in. And I'm going to go into center. And I'm going to do this all the way around. So now I'm at the center of the petal, and I'm going to do my center fly. And I just want to make sure I always have that fly stitch centered on the petal, so that when I do my tête de boeuf, it's going to go right into that V. I'm doing a tête de boeuf from the end of the petal, the tip, and then I go to the others, and then I go to the other side. This is going to be my V. And now I'm going to do what is kind of a chain stitch, really. And I'm going right into the V of that fly stitch, directly below. Like that. I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to come out to my next tip. There's that. And with my number 8 EZM 31, I'm going to do a little French knot inside of each of those after I finish doing my 7 tête de boeufs. And then I go right into the V of that fly stitch directly below. Okay, I'm just going to do a French knot in the center of each of these. I'll go ahead and do a 3 wrap. When it's a number 8 weight, 3 wrap shows up a little bit better than the 2 wrap. Okay, and then I do 3 wrap right in the center of the flower. So I'm not even going to bother knotting. I'm just going to bring this right over to my center. It's pretty dense in there. Pull this up. Doing 4 wraps because it's just because I'm being contrary and I don't want to. Because this is what happens when I'm following directions. So there. It's sweet, isn't it? So this is the front of our little needle roll. We have finished everything. Now, there's nothing that says you can't do something in here if you wanted. You could do something inside your trees if you wanted. If you want to make little seagulls, you can do that. Fish jumping out, you can make this yours. All right, we are going to move on now to our needle label side, and that will be next time. But you should be pleased with your progress. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this fun and inspired you to think about what you might do on your needle roll or how you might change it or do it exactly like this one. Add things, take things out. Don't forget to hit the like button. Click on that subscribe button and the little bell that pops up. You can click on that for email notifications. Leave me comments. I love hearing from you. So leave me any comments you feel like, questions. And don't forget to check out the description section. That's where I leave links to Sue Spargo's Spoke Easy, the circle template, chalk pencils, pretty much everything I use, and so much more. Until next time, here's to stitching our needle roll together.